but I'm also a responsible leader. Know that when the people is in need of help and assistance, government must make sure that that assistance is given. Because we want, and this is my dream for Sandagrong. You know, they always consider Sandagrong, oh God, the ghetto, Sandagrong this, Sandagrong that. But Sandagrong can be one of the most interesting village of this country. Because Sandagrong, you represent the world. Sandagrong, c'est un village qui a représenté le monde. Dans Sandagrong, nous avons des gens qui sont sortis de tout pays du monde. Ça, c'est une richesse. That is a real wealth. And what we are engaged to do is to make sure that that wealth, that richesse of Sandagrong, be able to be developed, and that Sandagrong becomes one of the high touristic, not only attraction, but a tourist can come to Sandagrong and eat food from the St. Martin way of cooking. Eat food from the Haitian way of cooking. Eat food from the Spanish way of cooking. Eat food from the Guadeloupe way of cooking. Eat food and you can go down and down and down the line. Because that is what Sandagrong is all about. People of all walks of life. And that there is a wealth, that is a richness of St. Martin. So Sandagrong, do not leave them continue looking down on you. You represent the next St. Martin, and an MVP government will make sure that your young children who are full of talents get the right chances and opportunity to be maybe the next singer, the next athlete, the next sportsman, the next, call it, because Sandagrong, vous avez du talent. I know the thing, nous avons du talent, Sandagrong, vous avez du talent. Et oui, en marche vers le progrès, souhaite mettre ce talent en exergue. Donc oui, moi je suis un leader heureux. Et je suis un homme politique encore plus heureux. Parce que lorsque je vous vois ce soir, je sens monter la victoire. Je sens que Sandagrong, c'est l'engagement que je vous demande. This is what I'm asking Sandagrong. You know, one of our oldest cemeteries, the cemetery in Sandagrong. Plus vieux cimetière nous gagne, c'est cimetière Sandagrong. Puisque tout adversaire politique moi considéré comme mort. Donc très certainement, j'ai enterré dans cimetière Sandagrong. Because we got the oldest cemetery on earth in Sandagrong. Maybe they consider I done dead and buried in the cemetery. Well, this is the engagement that I need from Sandagrong. On March 19th, Ali Richardson, an MVP, will come alive. They got me buried. Sandagrong, you will make sure that there is a new government in town, that there's a new team in town, and that team name the next government name is the winning team. Thank you, Sandagrong. I am counting on you. This team is counting on you. Your children are counting on you. You are counting on yourself. Let us go out massively and vote MVP. Thank you, Sandagrong.
Okay, we're here with Alan Richardson. You have a good turnout this evening. What are some of the pointers that you're giving to the people so that they could come out and support your party?
Well, let me say how happy I am to be able to present to the people of St. Martin a full-fledged platform that will get this country really in motion towards progress. A team that is comprised of experienced, competent men and women. And this evening we're here in Sandagrong, and as you said it yourself, there's a very interesting crowd. And this is a sign that even though some believe I was politically dead, I am alive, and Marshville Le Progrès is alive, and we are on a motion towards victory. I want to invite all of those who are listening to us via the television this evening to come out and support us, to come out on the campaign trail, but most of all, on Sunday, March 19th, come out and give St. Martin another chance, give MVP a chance, give Alain Richardson another chance to prove his love, his commitment, and his service to this country.
You must come to the fair, the Lion Rudy Hoover Health and Wellness Fair, where you get information on your health situation. We offer all kinds of tests, which will make you look your best. So come to the Lion Rudy Hoover Health and Wellness Fair on Saturday, March 25th, 2017 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Festival Village. It is all free.
Tell Night of the Hitmakers. Tell Night of the Hitmakers. 5th year anniversary. The dance floor is back. Friday, April 28th, 2017 at Carnival Village. The ultimate dance party featuring Impact Band, Kai, formerly known as Karimi, Jean-Marc Ferdinand, Claudius Phillips, Farmer Nappy, and the Queen of Bacchanal, Destra. See you at the 5th year anniversary of Telcel Night of the Hitmakers. Partners, Telcel. This is an extra tight entertainment production. Just say I.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 15,000 guineas really easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem.
Life is a journey, full of connections. You're in safe hands, even when life starts too soon. You don't have to miss a single beat. When a bad hair day makes you sad, just sharing can bring you joy and more to come. They take the plunge, turn fear into faith, while you capture those beautiful moments. In the game of life, it's family that counts. They'll be there even when you lose. We all have our moments of reflection and hope. And when you feel you're losing everything in life, we're there because there's more to come. When life starts too soon, you don't have to miss a single beat. We're here to connect you and share life. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Last Friday, we conducted a multidisciplinary control. This was a multi-ministerial cooperation. I don't know if there is a photo actually Minister Gibson, sorry you weren't in the photo, but it is a photo that shows, here you go, that you can see this is the team that went out on last Friday. And this comprises of inspectors from the from the Ministry of VSA, labor inspectors, with the assistance of the Ministry of Finance tax inspectors, with the assistance of the Ministry of Justice immigration officers, as well as representatives from SZV. But also this includes cooperation, for example, with other departments such as VROMI. For example, VROMI is in the process of helping us to produce a map, a very detailed map of the Dutch side of the island, so that we can literally map out a door-to-door campaign in terms of how we're moving forward with compliance. So I wanted to, number one, stress that the effort that took place last week, Friday, was something that has the full support of the Council of Ministers and the cooperation across different ministries. There was an article that ran in the newspaper reporting on it where the control teams went out and closed businesses. And I want to state for the record that we did not close any businesses. The reality is, though, when a business operates, and if a large percentage of the people operating within the business are undocumented and not permitted to work, and if the consequence is that the business decides to close its doors because it doesn't have the manpower to continue its operations, that's a consequence of us following through with our activities, but not that we directly have closed any businesses. I want to commend the team. We went out, it was a long day. As a matter of fact, not everyone in the picture went out at the same time. So what you see actually is many of the departments put it into 2 shifts. So they had some people that went from morning, because actually we went out from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. So it was a long day. I really commend them. They did an excellent job. They were enthusiastic throughout the entire day, throughout the entire process. And a lot, I think, was learned by the exchange as well. The controls started in the morning with controls in Phillipsburg, in particular retail shops, but as well OPCs or some of the timeshare salespeople that you see operating on the streets within Phillipsburg. As the day progressed, we moved on to construction sites, and then as the day progressed further, we moved on to restaurants and bars. Understand, I would like the community to understand, our goal is really improved compliance. My off-the-cuff estimates are that just a simple one-day control, I believe that we've generated around 70 employment opportunities. And by that, what do I mean? I mean that there are people functioning in positions without the proper documentation for those positions. So as the businesses look to fill those positions with our people, I see this as an employment opportunity. I believe also that there was an opportunity for government now to collect on tax revenues, and certainly for SZV to collect on revenues. As you noticed, SZV mentioned some time ago in the newspaper that they had 200 million guilders out on the street. In my understanding, that is money that they say that they have a claim against companies. In other words, companies that owe money. To me, the money that we're talking about from the control on Friday is people who are not properly registered, who are not paying the premiums as they should. So that money is on top of the money that they claimed in the newspaper a few weeks ago. What is the plan? The plan is that each of the different ministries are going to go back, process the information that we gathered on Friday. They're going to investigate further. Some of them are conducting interviews with some of the people that were controlled last Friday. And the plan is next week to have a debriefing session, including Minister of Finance and any of the other ministers who want to join, and look at really understanding what were the results of what happened from a simple one-day exercise, and what kind of structural changes can we institute across ministries to improve compliance. Some preliminary findings. What did we find? Just to give you a sort of a snapshot. Many employees said, I don't have any ID with me. I would like to make it clear, according to the law, anyone over 12 years old is obligated to carry identification with them. Many businesses did not have all of their proper documentation on site. Some of the construction sites, for example, didn't have building permits or any of the things, so make sure that you get familiar with the law in terms of what you need to have in terms of documentation on site, but including a labor registry, business license, operational license if necessary, director's license, Chamber of Commerce. So we're notifying you, go get your things together. We found companies operating without proper documentation. And by that, what do I mean? We found some people, for example, who were operating as companies, but yet they've not followed through and gotten all of their documentation in place. So they're operating with incomplete documentation. For example, one OPC I spoke to says, yes, no, I have my company. I said, okay, where's your tax information? Not me, the inspectors asked, where's the tax information? So it turns out the person's operating without a crib number, therefore not paying taxes into the system. So you need to get all of your documentation in place. We found companies that were operating, that were French companies, that are operating on the Dutch side. They, in my opinion, have no legal basis to be doing business on the Dutch side. I think many of you would recognize that if we were to go to the French side to do business with an NV, that would be a problem immediately. And yet here we see people conducting business with a French company, which translates into, means they're not paying SZV, they're not paying their taxes here. This is a big gaping hole for the government. I also recognize it's a small community. News spreads very fast. As we were controlling one end of Front Street, reports were on other ends of Front Street, people were vacating Phillipsburg. Same thing, when we were controlling construction sites in one neighborhood, in other sites, people were going into the bushes. Certainly gives an indication that there is a large problem, right? And a problem that we are committed to addressing. We found a number of undocumented and unregistered employees. So it could be one or the other. So some that are undocumented are also not registered, some that are maybe documented but still not registered, so compliance is an issue. Went to one business where we could see all of the time cards. There were somewhere about 15 time cards, but yet when you actually checked, only 4 employees were registered. This is a problem. This is a big gaping hole in our revenue for the country.
Across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles, fun within your reach.
You must come to the fair, the Lion Rudy Hoover Health and Wellness Fair, where you get information on your health situation. We offer all kinds of tests, which will make you look your best. So come to the Lion Rudy Hoover Health and Wellness Fair on Saturday, March 25th, 2017 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Festival Village. It is all free.
As you know, we had a very lengthy meeting with the anti-poverty platform on St. Martin. Clearly, from the presentations that have been made, poverty is not an alone standing issue. And it comes from different angles, manifests itself in different ways. And I think important for St. Martin, which is not the first time that I'm saying this, is that we have our own poverty line established in order to determine what is the scope of poverty on St. Martin. Is there poverty? Of course there's poverty on St. Martin. How big is it? What are the symptoms? What are the causes? And extremely important is naturally, how can the government and the community address these areas? It is, however, a comprehensive issue that must be approached in such a manner as well. In terms of upcoming meetings, this would be then next week. Next week's agenda, we have where we had scheduled a meeting regarding Salem as requested by the opposition faction of the UP party. And the request of the UP party was to have the management and board of several government-owned companies come in to Parliament to give a so-called status of affairs of the company. Naturally, it is not within Parliament's purview to invite board and management of government-owned companies to Parliament. We have taken that request to mean a request to government to come and present and answer potential questions that members of Parliament would have as far as these government-owned companies are concerned. The request by the faction of the United People's Party actually included requests for meetings with Salem, the airport, the harbor, as well as GEBE. We started with the one for Salem and have asked the government to come and be present to respond to questions. However, those requesting the meeting, or a majority of those requesting the meeting, will not be here the next meeting week. So that meeting that initially was scheduled for this coming Monday will not be convened. In addition to that, we're going to be having a public meeting to deal with some of the matters that we have dealt with in Central Committee last week. And we are setting the stage along with the government for the presentation of the governing program on March the 23rd. The government has indicated that they are ready for this discussion, and the date, as I mentioned, is March 23rd. The government has indicated that what they would like to do is make a presentation on the program and then subsequently share the program with the members of Parliament. So that is scheduled for Thursday morning. It will take place in a Central Committee setting of Parliament.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
There's no place for the children to go, walk, swing. I mean, people have children. What do you do with them? You can't keep them in the house all day. The children will stay on the phone all day, but you need to get out and play and do things. So we need to look for recreational places, and that new direction is going to do. Look for places so you can take your kids and play whatever game and sport you need to play. It's really a tax incentive plan that every company, new company that starts, a start-out company, that hires a young person on an indefinite contract. It doesn't mean that a company will hire you and lay you off in 2 months or 3 months. It's an indefinite contract. And within 2 years, that company will have a tax break. That is to encourage young employment. There's also the association, Mr. Page Richardson, who is president of Sanderground on the Move. You have seen what he has done in Sanderground with his association, ladies and gentlemen. He has done a great job. This gentleman, once elected, he will take care of the Conseil de Quartier, getting all of these quartiers together and making sure that government has a listening ear to know what's going on in the districts. Because you have to know what's going on. I always say you need to keep your ears to the ground. You need to know what's going on, and the quartiers have never been involved in major decisions at the collectivity. And you will see it on our profession de foi. Our aim is also to have an open discussion with people. Open discussion whenever we need for big decision where we headed. And it brings me to say that I heard some people saying there and then that we need a constitutional change, people. And I'm saying to that, whenever we need a change like that, it will go before the people. The people has to decide, because we're taking decision for you, for your children and the future generation of St. Martin. You cannot take decision like that lightly. You have to be well informed. Don't trust those people. You need to trust new direction so we can take the right decision. New direction, going to the right decision whenever St. Martin needs a change. We promise to come before the people, and the people has to decide where this country is headed.